So here is the big question. What exactly is yoga? Is yoga Indian? Is it Hindu? Is it religious? Or is it secular? Before we answer this question, we must first recognize that none of these labels do yoga any justice. It was Europeans and Americans who came up with such labels to easily compartmentalize India's traditions. But force-fitting Indian ideas into categories created by the West only makes matters worse. Truth is, yoga is Hindu, Indian, religious, and secular at the same time. It is Hindu because Hindu religious texts refer to it regularly, and deities like Krishna and Shiva are also known as Yogeshwar. The Bhagavad Gita itself refers to paths like Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. The connection between yoga and Hinduism is undeniable. Yoga is Indian because it originated in the Indian subcontinent and spread to other parts of the world from India. Yogic ideas made their way into other schools of philosophy, including those like Jainism and Buddhism. In fact, the Japanese word Zen comes from the Sanskrit word Dhyan. Yoga is secular because in most aspects of its practice, the idea of God is of very little importance. One does not have to believe in God to practice or benefit from yoga. In fact, acknowledging the divine is understood to be secondary to awareness and understanding. Yoga has been a worldwide phenomenon for quite some time now. But in the West, its physical aspects, the asanas, have become more important than its psychological aspect. As a result, it has come to be associated with words like New Age and hippie. Since some people oppose yoga on the grounds that it has religious undertones, others have started defending it by saying there's nothing Hindu about it. Some even go so far as saying that it is neither spiritual, nor Indian or Hindu. This, in turn, further emphasizes the physical-only interpretation of yoga. Such a defense of yoga serves to empower even more misinterpretation by some Western scholars who say that modern yoga was reinvented by the West. They consider the source of yoga to be obscure texts that European Orientalists rediscovered. This happens because many Western scholars fail to come to terms with the fact that in ancient India, things did not have to be written down to be real. Traditions such as yoga were being transmitted from teachers to students orally and ritually long before Patanjali penned down the Yoga Sutras. Eurocentric scholars even go so far as to dismiss all assertions by Indians who seek to reclaim their heritage and call their views patriarchal propaganda. In response, some Hindus dismiss all Western scholarship on India and start denying the secular aspect of yoga, labeling those they disagree with as Hindu-phobic. The truth about yoga, therefore, lies somewhere in the middle. The question about yoga's true nature cannot be answered by putting it in folders. It can be answered by recognizing that the need to label yoga is a mental trap. Ritual held every year in Pondicherry remembers the marriage of Arjuna's son, Arvan, who was going to be sacrificed for the sake of victory in the Mahabharata war.
Vyas told the story of the Mahabharata to his disciple Vaishampayan, who told it to Romaharshan, who told it to Sauti, who told it to Shaunaka in the Naimish forest.